Have you ever had something weird happen to you? Something you can't explain, something you know nobody's gonna believe you? Well, that happened to me. I remember one time in the summer of 1998, my family and I went to Terre Haute, which is a pretty big town near our town, which is famous for being the thing that smells the closest like shit without being shit. The cause of our trip was Mom wanted to go to the Honey Creek Mall. That was her favorite shopping center. Well, I had some change in my pocket. I decide I'm gonna ditch, I'm gonna go to the arcade. And that's where I see a cabinet I've never seen before. I'll remember its name to my dying day, Polybius. It just looked different from every other cabinet in the place. It just felt off. Of course, me loving spooky shit at the time, I just had to go check it out. I put my quarter in and that's it. That's all I remember. The next thing I remember is waking up in my bedroom, violently puking. No clue how I got there. Several hours later. I am not prone to seizures. I am not prone to blackouts. I'm healthy as a fucking ox. As a kid, I would fall 2-3 stories out of a tree, pick myself up, and climb the damn thing back again. I had no medical problems. We went back the next week. I demanded we go back. It was gone. The owner of the arcade, which I knew personally, he swears up and down that cabinet was never there. I asked the other kids that I saw there last week. They don't remember it. However, I was on the internet around about 2001, 2002. Other people saw Polybius. As near as everyone can gather, Polybius is not a game to be played, it's a game to be survived. The popular theory is it was a test set up by some government agency or somebody else outside the norm. Well, I have failed every other test in my life, and I'm glad to have failed this one as well. I remember reading on a message board this dude's confessional about how he had played the game, and how he had suffered no adverse effects at first, but things started getting weird. He would just see people, men in black suits just out of the corner of his eye, constantly looking at him, constantly taking notes. I didn't believe him at first until I saw a picture. He claims to have taken the picture at a gas station he was at. You know those little round, warbled mirrors so people can see around corners? It was a snapshot of that. Sure enough, there's a stereotypical G-man in the reflection, just barely out of sight. Notepad in hand, staring at the dude. Now you might be thinking that's just Photoshop, but you gotta understand, back in those days, those kind of skills were not common. Only like the supercomputer geniuses could do things like that. Normal people like you and me, that was just far beyond our ken. Naturally, I was starting to get freaked out, so I decided to go back and ask my mom, like, hey, what happened that day at the mall? She says, well, we got a page on the intercom saying that you had a freak out and we need to come to the arcade and get you, and there you were, just puking, throwing a fit. So we decided to clean up the mess, pack you up, and take you home. Once you got to the bed, you passed out. I made the mistake of telling my best friend Pettit about all this, and he laughed his ass off. It's like, man, that's a cute story. Where'd you get that? What book did you read that in? No, I didn't read it in any book. And I know you don't believe me either. That's why I got proof. Right here. Picture of a Polybius cabinet. Salvaged from some dump. The inner workings are gone, the electronics are stripped out. But it's right there. Hell, my friend didn't start believing me till he saw Polybius on The Simpsons. That's how famous the story got. Then, just like most stories, it just disappeared. There have been other weird stories that happened to me, but this is the one I actually have pictures or some sort of argument for. Well, believe me or don't, I really don't care. I just want to get this story out here. But I do thank you for listening to me. I hope you have a great day. And watch your ass. People are out there, and they may not have your best interest at heart.